ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizing committee, it's a great pleasure to welcome every one of you, students, lecturers, and our distinguished guests to our next series of Tech Talk today titled A Very Good Morning, next distinguished guests, Fintech, ladies and gentlemen. The future of on behalf of the organizing committee, it's a great pleasure to welcome every one of you, for your students, lecturers. My name is Nur Aziza. I'm going to be your MC to our for today. Our series of Tech Talk explore title for today's Tech Talk on how Fintech is revolutionizing right here in our financial landscape. From digital banking and investment platforms to AI-driven I'm going to be your MC that are for reshaping how we think we will about explore money. We are today's Tech Talk in for a treat with a stellar lineup of speakers who are pushing the boundaries of innovation. From digital banking and investment platforms to AI-driven solutions. First, we'll kick off that are with reshaping forum, how we think featuring our distinguished panel of fintech. We are truly in for a treat. Then we'll dive with a stellar industry showcase of speakers where the speaker will present how the companies are advancing digital finance. Of today's program, we'll open the floor kick off for an interactive forum Q&A session featuring our distinguished panel of fintech experts. We'll dive into an industry showcase to explore where the speaker will present how the companies are advancing digital finance, special addresses, following that, we'll open the floor for an interactive Q&A session. So get ready with your question, yeah? To begin, we are thrilled to showcase to explore opportunity discussion in fintech on education. The future of fintech. Finally, please join me in welcoming our moderator, our own UNIMI Associate Professor ceremony, Muhammad Kamal Muhammad Radhi. Let's get started. And allow me to also introduce the panel speakers, Encik Muhammad Fahmi Mustafa, panel discussion on the future. He's the head of Islamic banking and finance at Sunline, and also consultant and trainee at Masrif Academy. Second speaker allow me to also introduce Sharma, speakers. Encik Muhammad He's the sales director at Backbase. He's the head of Islamic banking and finance at Sunline. And also consultant country manager of Masrif Academy. And lastly, Mr. Chi Mun Fong, Mr. Ashish Sharma, officer at Right Bank. He's the sales director at Backbase. With that, without further ado, I hand over the floor to our moderator, Kamal. He's the country manager of Stashaway. And lastly, Mr. Chi Mun Fong, the chief product officer at Right Bank. Please give them a round of applause again. With that, without further ado, I hand over the floor to our moderator, Encik Kamal.
Okay, allow me to read simple rules that we have for our Tech Talk Forum. Good morning, everyone. Okay. How are you? There will be 4 rounds for this Tech Talk Forum. Round 1, moderator for today, a sharing session. Talk by the speakers. Okay, allow me to their perspective read of future rules that we have of finance and the fintech Tech Talk Forum landscape. Okay, there will be 4 rounds, 10 minutes each for this Tech Talk Forum. Round 1, discuss and share your thoughts on it. A sharing session. Second round by the speakers on their industry showcase of the speakers of finance and the fintech and landscape services. You will be allocated the future 10 minutes each, finance and 10 minutes only. Also, 10 minutes each will be given for the speaker. Second round, round 2, deliver their speech and industry showcase of the speakers. Then round 3 will be the Q&A session, and we will allocate 30 minutes in shaping the future of session, finance and fintech. Please prepare. Also, 10 minutes each will be given for the speaker. Yeah. Okay, and then round 4 will be concluding remarks, conclusion session. Then round 3 will be the Q&A session. Will be given 5 minutes. Only. We will allocate 30 minutes to conclude for this session. Yeah, thoughts and please prepare your questions. Okay, so the arrangement will be, and then round 4 will be concluding remarks. The second speaker will be where Mr. Ashish Sharma will be given 5 minutes. Third speaker, Mr. Wong Wai Ken. their
fourth speaker, Mr. Fong
opinion.
Chim,
Yeah? Okay.
So
without
arrangement
further
will
ado,
be,
I now call upon the
the
first speaker, Encik Muhammad Fahmi, to the stage.
Encik Muhammad Fahmi.
The
To
second
deliver
speaker
his
will
speech
be
and presentation.
Mr. Ashish Sharma. Third speaker, Mr. Wong Wai Ken. And fourth speaker, Mr. Fong Chiman. Yeah? So without further ado, I now call upon the first
Allow me
speaker,
to read
Encik Muhammad
his
Fahmi, to
biodata.
the stage. To deliver his speech
Encik Muhammad
and
Fahmi
presentation.
Mustafa brings over 20 years of expertise in Islamic banking systems, fintech and digital transformation across both conventional and Sharia compliant institutions. He specializes in
his
system
biodata.
architecture, product structuring, regulatory
Muhammad Fahmi
integration,
Mustafa
and
brings
large-scale
over
20 years of
implementation.
expertise in Islamic banking systems.
Fahmi has led
fintech
banking
and digital
transformation
banking projects
across both
across Southeast Asia
conventional
and
and
Sharia
GCC,
compliant
Gulf countries.
institutions. He
Covering
specializes in
operations
system
such as
architecture,
financing,
product
deposit,
structuring,
regulatory
investment,
integration, and
calculation
calculation
and
implementation.
His
Fahmi has
experience
led
spans
four
system
banking and
configuration,
digital
banking projects across Southeast
data
Asia
migration,
and testing and
GCC,
go live
Gulf countries.
He also
Covering
advises
end-to-end
fintech, digital
operations such
platform
as
and government
financing,
agencies on Islamic
deposit,
fintech,
systemization,
investment, open
profit
banking, and calculation
social
and
finance
finance.
model.
His experience spans system
committed industry
configuration,
advisor
and trainer. Fahmi is actively
data
involved in
migration,
talent
testing,
development
and go live
and
execution.
knowledge sharing initiative. He also
Islamic
advises fintech, digital
Over
platform
to you,
and government
Mr.
agencies on Islamic fintech,
All right, thank you.
systemization,
Thank you, Sheikh
open
Gamal.
banking and Islamic
Assalamualaikum and
social
very good
finance
morning.
model.
It's a good crowd.
a committed industry advisor
So,
and trainer. Fahmi is
just now
actively
Sheikh Gamal
involved in
say
talent development
traffic jam in
and
PJ
knowledge
is actually
sharing
quite
initiative
bad.
in Islamic
I think it's
finance.
quite okay. I'm coming from
Over to you,
Serdang this morning. Took me around 1.5
All right,
hours.
thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh Gamal.
All right.
Assalamualaikum and very
Okay.
good morning. It's a
So,
good crowd. My name is Fahmi,
So,
right? Muhammad Fahmi
just
Mustafa.
now Sheikh
Gamal say, I'm coming from
traffic
this
jam
company
in PJ
called
is actually
Sunline,
quite
right?
bad.
So
I think
who
it's
is
quite
this
okay.
Sunline?
I'm
Coming from Serdang this morning.
Sunline is a
took me
company,
around 1.5
a
hours.
financial
Should be-
technology company.
All right.
That
Okay.
based in China.
So,
Right,
my name is
China.
Fahmi, right? Muhammad Fahmi Mustafa.
So I'm going to talk more about this
I'm
company.
coming from this company called
later in
Sunline,
round 2,
right?
For this
So
round
who is
1,
this
as
Sunline?
Sheikh Kamal mentioned,
Sunline is a company.
I want to talk about
a
the
financial
fintech landscape
technology company
and what is the future
that
of fintech,
based, right?
at least
in
China,
China,
right?
our
China.
perspective. Right?
So I'm going to talk more about
Oh.
this company
I
later in
also-
round 2.
yeah. So I would like to
For
add,
this
I'm
round
also
1,
the
as
independent
Sheikh Kamal
consultant
mentioned,
for Masrif. Right? So
I
because
want to talk
Masrif
about
logo is
the
actually here,
fintech
right?
landscape
Okay.
and what is the future of fintech. Right?
So this
at
is,
least
I'm
from,
going to bring this topic actually,
our perspective,
right?
rethinking fintech.
Oh,
A lesson from a leap.
so I would like to add,
future.
I'm also the independent
Leapfrog
consultant
future.
for Masrif, right? So because Masrif
So
logo
it's
is
actually a
here,
story about
right?
China. Because my company is
So
actually
this
from
is,
China.
I'm
we're
going
gonna
to bring
talk
this
about
topic
China.
actually.
How
right?
China
Rethinking fintech.
So if you know that China in 80s and
a
90s
lesson
is actually
from
quite
a
poor,
leapfrog,
right? Of course,
future.
they open the market economy.
Leapfrog future.
And then how they
So it's actually a
leapfrog
story
from
about
there
China
to what they are now.
because my company
From
is actually from
fintech
China, so
standpoint,
we're going to talk about China.
and
especially
how
on the
China-
payment.
So if you
They are
know that
quite
China
modern.
in 80s and
So
90s
nowadays,
is
if
actually
you go to
quite
China,
poor,
right,
from
of course, they
Malaysia,
open
you
the
don't really
market
have to
economy.
exchange for money.
And then
You
how
can forgot
they
they
exchanging money.
leapfrog from
Just
there
go there, use
to
your
what they are now.
touch and go and do
From
transaction.
fintech standpoint, and especially on the payment, they are quite modern. So nowadays, if you go to China
So
from
this is
Malaysia,
the,
you don't really have to
evolution
exchange
of
for money.
fintech.
You can forget.
I'm going to talk about
exchanging
China, but
money.
later after this.
Just go
So
there.
this is the
use
evolution
your,
of fintech.
touch and go and
So
do
this is a
transaction.
timeline
That we see on fintech. So fintech word, I think most of
So this
you
is
guys
the,
actually at the front over here
evolution of
definitely
fintech.
familiar with fintech.
I'm going to talk about China,
but some of
later
the
after
students
this.
over here.
So this
what
is
is
the evolution
fintech?
of fintech.
So
this
this
is a
fintech word
timeline
start to emerge
that we see
back in
on
2009.
fintech,
Right? So
start to emerge.
fintech word. I think
after creation of the
most
Bitcoin.
you guys
And
actually
then
at the
it
front
started
over
to
here
become popular
definitely
around
familiar with
2014,
fintech.
2015.
But some of the students over here.
So this
what is
fintech
actually refer
So
to
this
an
fintech
organization
word
start to emerge
that
back in
offer
2009.
banking products,
Right? So, but it's
start
not
to
banking.
emerge,
It's not bank.
after creation
They
of the
offer
Bitcoin.
the banking product,
And then
it
in the
started to
internet,
become popular
right?
around 2014.
So companies such as the
2015.
crowdfunding.
So
So
they
this
offer
fintech
the investment.
actually refer
They also
to
offer
an
the loan,
organization,
right, to SME.
that
So they start to
offer
match between
banking
the sources
product,
of fund to the
but it's
users
not
of
banking.
fund.
It's not
so
bank.
investor can directly
They
invest
offer
with
the
the project
banking
and then can
product
get
in the
actually the
internet.
return. Right? So companies, such as the crowdfunding, so they offer the investment,
and then the
they also
product
offer
such
the
as the
loan,
Bitcoin
right, to SME.
So this one also
So they
is a-
start
is
to
a
match
fintech.
between the sources
However,
of
within
funds
the
to the
same
users
year,
of funds.
2014,
So
2015,
investor can directly
the big
invest with the
players
project
start to
and then
come-
can get
start to
actually
jump
jump into the fintech
So
bandwagon.
companies such as
Who are the big player?
and
So
then
the big player is
the
actually
product
all
such as the
those,
Bitcoin.
long
So this one
time
also is a
financial
fintech.
technology
However, within the
solution
same year,
provider.
2014, 2015,
Name
the big
such
players
as
start to
Temenos,
come, start to jump
Silver Lake
into the
and all those,
fintech
right?
bandwagon.
So they are the one
who
who
are the
provide
big player?
the system.
So the big
to the
player is
bank.
actually all those.
So if you guys know,
long-time
financial
bank is actually running on the core
solution
banking, and then
provider.
there's a lot of system actually surrounding
Name such
that
as the
banking system.
So
Silver Lake
these
and all
are
those,
solution provided
So
to the
they
bank.
are the one
So
who
when they jump
provide
to that
the
fintech
system
bandwagon,
to
they
the
start
bank.
to redefine what is
So
fintech.
if you guys know,
right?
so eventually
bank is actually running on the
fintech
core
meant
banking,
and then there's
the
a
use
lot
of
of system actually
technology
surrounding that banking
in
system.
offering
So
financial
these
product.
are
solution provided
Hence
to the
you can
bank.
see over
So
here,
when they jump
when
to
they
that
redefine
fintech
the
bandwagon,
fintech,
they start to
so
redefine what is fintech, right? So eventually, fintech meant the use of technology in offering a financial product. Hence, you can see over here, when they redefine the fintech, so the fintech history started way back in 1950s, right? The timeline started way back in 1950s. So some of the timeline, if you Google, right? So they say that fintech started in 1800 even, right? So in this diagram, in this timeline, you can see that in 50s, so we have Diners Club, and then we have American Express, and then toward the NFC. So if we can actually cut this timeline into half, right? So the 2009. So what happened before 2009 is that the fintech, most of it is actually to support the bank itself. So most of it is actually to actually support the bank business and so on. But after 2009, between 2009 to 2014, most of it is actually to compete with the bank, right? With all the crowdfunding, Kickstarter, and all those actually, e-wallet and all those, right? So, but this is a story of a Western fintech. All of this name is actually American, right? So the story of American. So what happened, right? So what happened to the other big brother? What happened in China, right? So this one we can see that there's a fintech 1.0, fintech 2.0. That's evolution actually, right? So what happened in China? So in China, as we know now, if you go there, right? So everything is actually cashless. I think if from observation perspective, I think almost 100% cashless. Even though we have a lot of statistics, like 90% and then 60+% on the QR and whatnot, but a lot of it is actually cashless. So in China, right? So in 80s and in 90s, a lot of banking is actually quite manual. And then when the internet boom started to hit China in 90s and in early 2000, the penetration of PC and laptop is quite low actually. Not a lot of China citizens have the PC and laptop. Hence, the usage of internet banking is not there. It's not like us. Because like us, our internet banking, Maybank actually introduced their internet banking way back in year 2000, right? And then we started to use the internet banking for the next 10, 15 years, then only we use the mobile banking. So, but what happened in China, they skip that generation. So they goes from paper to mobile. They don't do internet banking, right? They do go from manual banking, they skip the PC generation, they go directly to mobile, right? So when they go directly to mobile, they have demand a lot on mobile, right? Hence, there is this actually, right? So the birth of super apps. So super apps, I think the most famous super apps is actually WeChat. So if we see WeChat, I think WeChat in Malaysia just limited to the messaging apps. But WeChat in China, if we go,
It started with messaging app, and then it started to go into the food, retail, transportation, healthcare, social transfer, and so on and so forth, and WeChat Pay and WeBank. Now they have the digital bank, the biggest digital bank in the world. Now even if you, even the beggars actually using the QR payment in China. So you hardly see any cash actually in China. All right. So I think it's not 10 minutes yet, right? All right. So now, what's next? So what's next? So since China has been very modern, right? So since China has been very modern, they have demand a lot. So they skip the generation from manual directly to mobile, and then they demand a lot on the mobile. Mobile apps become super apps, right? So now what's next? What's next in China? So because if we want to see what's the future of a thing, right? So we need to see the market leader. Since China is actually the market leader of the payment, so in China, within the past few years, they started to go deviceless. Deviceless. So what does it mean over here? If you want to buy something, you don't really have to take out your card. You don't really have to take out your phone. You just go there, scan your face or scan your palm, halas, right? You can complete your transaction. So I have a bit of story, probably I can tell, because I went to China quite a lot because my company is actually from China. So I saw this actually, exactly like this actually, even though this one is actually AI-generated image. So I saw a guys actually, right? So scan their thing, and eventually they scan their palm actually. So I'm eager to try. So one midnight, I went down to the 7-Eleven to try it. And then after I finished scanning my stuff, and then I scanned my palm, of course, error, right? So because I did not register. So I need to register the palm actually in WeChat. All right. So before I end my remark, so I would like to raise a thought-provoking question. So if this, right? So the bio payment, if we can call it, if this is the future of fintech, how do you perceive it, right? Will you jump into this, right? So will you accept this? So yeah, that's fruit of thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Encik Fahmi. Okay. The second speaker will be Mr. Ashish Sharma. Please come to the stage. Mr. Ashish Sharma is the Country Sales Director, Malaysia at Backbase, where he leads digital banking transformation initiative across Malaysia and the broader APAC region. With extensive experience in banking software and business development, Ashish partners with leading banks, fintechs, and financial institutions to implement platform-first engagement banking solutions. He has played a key role in delivering customer-centric digital platform for retail, SME, and wealth banking segments, contributing to enhance user experiences and long-term value creation. His strategic focus and deep understanding of financial ecosystems position him as a trusted advisor in the digital banking space. So without further ado, I now invite Mr. Ashish Sharma to share his thoughts and opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for those kind words. And really excited to be back in a university campus, which I left almost more than 1.5 decades ago in India, when I left India and left my university. So I remember those kind of sessions we also used to have. And sometimes as a student, you feel, it's too much sessions bombarding on us. But I really, if I look back, actually, a lot of such sessions helped me in my current career life also. So, so without further ado, if you can bring, thank you. Yeah. So I am Ashish. I am the sales director for Backbase, managing Malaysia, Singapore, and Cambodia markets for them, helping them grow their business. We are into banking technology space. And as Professor mentioned, my entire career path was into this technology and banking industry. So that's how I say I'm born and brought up in this industry. So hence my session would be very much focusing onto the banking landscape only. And thanks to my previous colleague to give a good perspective about the digital banking trends, and especially focusing on China, which is definitely the way forward when it comes to adopting new technologies in the world. And he spoke about core banking payments, which are, I would say, the backbone of a banking system. And where I'm covering, in a way, I'm complementing him, because I'm going to talk about things above core banking and payments, which is the channels and the experience layer, which Backbase expertise in. So that way, quickly, giving you a view about what Backbase does, but I'll cover it in the later session. So, sorry. Yeah, when it comes to new, latest banking trends, what's happening and all, I'm sure a lot of people would have different point of views. It is started from, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, central bank digital currencies, you name it, and there are a lot of things. Artificial intelligence and machine learnings are also very much fast progressing in this industry also. However, when it comes to banking, banks are still there. Banks which were 100 years old are still there, and they would still continue to be there. What makes this happen is because banks also are continuously innovating themselves to keep the pace with the modern world and the modern technologies. Digital banks like Right Bank are also keeping these traditional banks on their toes always to think on innovation and also move fast in the industry. So my subject of discussion would be focusing entirely on the banks and what we see as Backbase, the key industry trends happening within banking industry. And how then I'll come to Backbase, how we are helping in the subsequent part of it, sorry. So these are the few points which I want to focus in next few minutes, in my 10 minutes of time. Customer experience, embedded banking, personalization and sustainability. There are a lot of things, a lot of buzzwords, but I would say I'm just going to focus on these 2-3 points here and the AI powered part of it, because everybody is super excited on AI, but I'll talk about some practical aspects of AI from a banking landscape completely. So this slide, I'm sure everybody can relate to it. I don't know, I mean, the crowd looks quite younger, so I don't know, half of them might not be related to the left side of the images, the internet banking, which my colleague also spoke about earlier. But yeah, I'm sure you guys have started using mobile banking, which was the second image, and now super apps, which is the third image. And as we go forward, the way of working is like a chat GPT. How you talk to a chat GPT, banking is also transforming that. And when it comes to engaging with the customers, how banks are engaging with the customers like you, the Gen Z, they are so used to the chat GPTs of the world, they would also have similar experience from their banks that they should be able to talk to the bank or chat with the bank rather than knowing what are the features and functionalities in the app. So that's the one point which we strongly believe the form factor or the experience layer is moving in the banking industry. If I go to the second point, personalization. I'm sure a lot of us have been doing personalization on their t-shirts, on their mugs, on their keychains, and a lot of things over the years. With these people coming in our life, we are much more personalized, consuming a lot of services which are very, very personalized to us. Our taste, our requirements, when we want, all of these things are taken care of. So same way, the users are moving towards the similar expectations from their banks also, where they feel the banks also should be able to understand them and provide the right experience depending on your needs as a customer, not just the products which you want as a customer, but also how you want to consume those products, when you want to consume those products. So that's also a very big change which has been happening already constantly, and it is moving fast as we speak. It looks very simple on the face of the app, but behind the scenes when it comes to technology, it takes a lot of efforts for the banks to actually achieve those things. What is the driving factor? The key driving factor is people like you, the Gen Z. 30% of the population in the world currently is by Gen Z. And the Gen Z people are heavily mobile users. They are spending most of their time on their mobile devices. They are heavily influenced by social media. They definitely do not want to visit any branch or and go anywhere. They want to do everything online. So this is one of the key driving factors. And also the same Gen Z is also very, very critical and very, very aware about sustainability. They really want to buy sustainable products, green products. So these are also some of the very big driving factors for the changes which we are seeing in the market currently. However, as a bank, they need to cater to 30% of this population, but also to the other people like me and others also like Professor and everybody else. So from a bank point of view, the expectation to meet the customer's need, the retail segment, the Gen Z segment is one, but there are other segments also. It can be established family, their needs are different. It can be the businesses, their needs are different. Everybody goes to a bank and they need to be served. So how complex the banking landscape becomes in order to serve this changing, evolving needs of the consumers. I'm going to talk about more in my next part of it, how Backbase is helping drive this unique experiences and personalizations to their end customers across different segments, retail, SME, corporate, all of this who wants to be banked and at the same time need to be done it a right way. Okay, so I think my time is about to end, but this is my last slide. I want to give you with a thought that all of us know about this particular brand and the kind of money they are making just by providing personalized recommendation to their clients. And there is a lot banks can also do to make money if they invest in the right technologies and also the futuristic technology. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish. Short and sweet, I think. All right. We go to the next speaker number 3. I invite Mr. Ken Wong to the stage. Mr. Ken is StashAway Malaysia's country manager. Ken has over 10 years of financial institution experience from various roles in Khazanah Nasional and Affin Hwang Capital. With investment, corporate strategy, and capital market experience, he joined StashAway over 7 years ago to launch the service in Malaysia. StashAway is now Malaysia's leading robo-advisor with a dominant market share and a diversified product suite to help investors grow and protect their wealth. I invite Mr. Ken Wong to deliver his speech and presentation. Please.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. I want to thank BAC for having me here today, and also Mashref for inviting me. I thought Encik Hilmi will be speaking with me today, but he thought that I would maybe add more to the conversation, and but I thank you for the opportunity. While I cycle through my slides, somehow, oh, wow, transitioning. Let me go straight to the second section, which we are talking about here today. So I want to start first with who here today already started investing? I see a mix of faces, young and old. Only the students, who started investing already? Ada? Any students started investing already? Okay. Let me ask you the second question. Who wants to be incredibly wealthy? Who is shy to put up their hands to say they want to be incredibly wealthy? And who of you have no hands? Oh, sorry, no hands, cannot put up, it's okay. My point is that wealth is important, and it is not everything, but wealth is important. And people that tell you money is not important, two things: either they don't have it, or they don't want to give it to you. So it's up to you to manage for yourself your wealth. And AI and technology, I believe, can empower you to do that. What is a robo-advisor? Some of you may not have heard this term. This term is a fintech term, but it's relatively outdated lah. This term started basically in 2008, around the time that Bitcoin was invented. Bitcoin basically was an expression of protest against the banks when a lot of them failed in 2008. Because of that mistrust in banks, Bitcoin was invented, fintech firms were created, and robo-advisors was one of the players in the wave of technology that started in 2008. Where there is chaos, banks failing, there's opportunity, tech players coming in to serve that need for trust. And a robo-advisor, the word advisor it's a very American term. When you are in America, you work with a financial advisor, here we call it financial planner, to tell you what to do with your money. And a robo-advisor basically would tell you, based on your risk profile, what your hopes and dreams are, what best to invest in. Huh? But I would say that this is just the first step in terms of managing your wealth. What robo-advisors helped to do was A, make it more simple, B, make it cheaper, and 3, get you invested in better things, maybe just beyond your cash, just beyond your fixed deposit, get you involved in the markets, not necessarily stock trading or whatever, but get you invested in the right things. So it's meant to be cheaper, more convenient, it's meant to be more intelligent, okay? So I'll talk about this later on. This really is the core of how Stashaway invests your money. You don't need to go into details, but basically we have a system to allocate your money depending on where the economy is at any one point in time. We look at growth, we look at inflation, and we adjust your money. Sometimes people are very confused about where to put their money at a certain point in time. And who do you have to rely on? The bank, the unit trust agent. Do you necessarily trust those people with different incentives to you? They have commissions. They also want to provide for their family. They may not have your best interest. You want to grow your wealth, but they want to profit from their interactions with you. They want to sell you something, for lack of a better word. So we are very confused. We rely on people, but what if we could rely on data? I'm not saying data is everything, but data helps you be objective. And we try and be objective to see where we are in this world in terms of the economy and put your money in the right place. Buy more bonds in a recession. Buy more tech stocks in a growth environment. So this is a very simple depiction of what we use to manage your money today. Imagine if in the future we could have more data points, more access to really take care of a lot of risks that we don't account for today. Things like political risks and so on. So I'll talk more about this later on. I wanted to also take this opportunity to look into the future and tell you how a robo-advisor or digital wealth management platform could serve you. So I thought of some AI use cases. As a cliche, I also use an AI image. Such a cliche, it's like man talking to machine. This is not real life, but it's one metaphor for that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is managing your cash in a better way, clever cash, right? We all have some cash, some more than others, let's just put it that way. Malaysians have 800 billion in their bank accounts just sitting there. And we all have this auntie and uncle that love to find the best FDs. Oh, here 3.7, there 3.85, 3.82, whatever it is, they want to find the best place for your cash. Imagine if you had cash in your bank and AI could help you find the best rate of all the regulated banks in Malaysia, and the word agentic gets thrown around a lot. Imagine if you could be suggested, hey, there's a better rate elsewhere. Do you want to approve? Approve. So at every one point in time, your cash is optimized in a bank that has an API or a connection with your digital wealth platform. I think that's a very exciting idea. Your cash should definitely not just be sitting in a bank account for the bank to earn money and you to earn nothing, okay? So Clever Cash, I think, is a really cool idea. Goal-based investing. Just now I said, does anyone want to be wealthy or extraordinarily wealthy, right? I didn't ask you what your goals are, what your dreams are. Do you want to get married? How much does that cost? Do you want to buy a house? How much does that cost? You want to buy a car? How much does that cost? You buy new shoes? How much does that cost? All the big hopes and dreams you have in your life must be prepared for today. With the income that you have, you must invest it in the right way to get you to that destination. But what if you get in your own way? What if you make mistakes because of your other distractions, wants and needs, things that you want but you don't need? So true goal-based investing is meant to keep you on track, to stop you from making too many errors. We are all human, we fall down once in a while, but not too many fatal errors, to keep you on track for retirement. I know I'm here to talk about tech, but I'm also here to scare you a little bit, to say that if you don't have 1 million in KL by the time you retire, that's probably not enough. And by the time you guys go towards retirement, that number would have risen already. The cost to retire today in KL at a nice level is 1 million bucks. Houses are gonna get expensive, kids are gonna get expensive. So you better start earning and investing to get to your goals. And tech can keep on the right track. I think that's important. Intervenes from making bad mistakes. I'm not talking about small things like 1111 or whatever, but what if you're like, I really want that car, but I really can't afford that car. Making bad decisions financially can set you back years, maybe even decades. Maybe you won't get to that retirement that you deserve. Maybe you won't get that house that you want. Maybe you won't be able to afford an amazing, education. So if tech could really show you a scenario where you were about to make a mistake from the AI's perspective, could show you the dire consequences of your potential actions, that would make you think twice. It would make you think 3 times. If you were married, maybe you will share that scenario with your wife. Then your wife will come and scold you in real life. So I think those things actually help, because it might seem controlling, but sometimes we are not the best person to decide what to do with our money at any one point in time. We're not always responsible. We're most of the time emotional and impulsive. So I think beyond wealth, there's also other things. There's other big financial moves that involve things beyond investing and saving. There's big financial moves like buying a house. Anyone here trying to buy a house will know that it's difficult. Where you want to buy a house, which house has the best layout for your family. Renovations cost a lot of money, interior design costs a lot of money. If tech could help you with that process, if tech could understand where you are financially, it could actually do a lot of that legwork for you, and then you could really just kind of like rely on tech to give you that options so you can make the right financial moves. Insurance, very boring subject, but how much do you really need? Since AI would understand your profile, understand your earning ability, understand your needs and wants for the future, it would be able to assess what you really need, as opposed to just say, nah, take this coverage. You don't understand it, never mind, just sign. Just pay the premiums and pay something very expensive to agents or banks who have commissions in mind and not your own interests. So all in all, I think that AI is this additional enhancement on the existing tech platform that could really help you, really aid you. But before I go, I also want to say that maybe in this day and age it's important to say it. It's important to know things. It's important to think. That's why we're all at uni, right? That's why we're all always learning. It's important to know things. It's important to think. Maybe when we had Google and all that, we don't need to know stuff. We just need to know what to look up, what to query. But with AI now, with ChatGPT, you don't even need to know how to think. So if 5 years from now, you guys don't know anything about money, you don't bother to learn about money and wealth, and when AI helps you manage that wealth, how do you know it's doing the right thing? Hey, buy this car. Hey, buy this house. Hey, take this loan. Tengok, the AI is fueled by those companies that are parents of this AI company, right? You don't know. You are the one who keeps your best interest at heart, and AI is just there to help you. So I'll leave you with that, and we'll discuss other things about wealth later on. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you, Waiken, for that thoughtful insight. Okay. We will continue with that idea later. Okay, next speaker will be Mr. Chi Man Fong. I would like to invite him to the stage. Chi Man Fong is a trailblazer in digital banking and financial technology, currently serving as Chief Product Officer at Right Bank. The pronunciation is Right Bank, right? Malaysia's upcoming AI-first digital bank, okay? He is also the CEO of YTL AI Lab. With nearly 2 decades of experience across North America and Southeast Asia, Man is best known as the co-founder and former CTO of MoneyLion, one of the first Malaysian-funded fintech companies to be listed on the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. His expertise lies in product innovation, AI-powered financial solutions, and designing inclusive, customer-centric banking experiences. Under his leadership, Right Bank is pioneering natural language banking interfaces that simplify financial services for everyday users. Recognized as one of Malaysia's top fintech CTOs, Man continues to shape the future of banking through a product-led, AI-driven approach. Over to you, Mr. Fu.
Thank you, Prof. I guess thanks for Masra for having me. It's an honor. So I'm, as Prof say, I'm the Chief Product Officer of Right Bank and the CEO of AI Labs. And the reason I hold 2 positions is that it's YTL, so they pay you 1 paycheck, they want you to have 2 jobs, right? So, so quick introduction to myself my name is Chiman. I born and bred in KL, no hometown. Hometown is in Kapong. So, when I was graduating from Sekolah Menengah, went to this university called Purdue University in the US. And during the 1996 time frame where there was when the infancy of internet, where the internet was being born, right? I know for most of you guys are shocked that the internet was being born, but there was a time there was no internet. So it was really nice to be at Purdue University because it's in the Middle America. So all the networking goes through Middle America. So which means that we receive a lot of funding from the likes of Sun Microsystems, HP, Silicon Graphics. Most of these companies gone bankrupt. But at the time, it was very big companies at that time. And that was the first time I encounter what we call the platform shift, which is of the internet at the time, right? So also that platform shift changed a lot of stuff, including not just from a technological standpoint, but also from a social structure standpoint as well. Case in point is that you look at Malaysia, the press were owned by a few political parties. Throughout the internet, it democratized the information and thus how we perceive information. More than 50% of Malaysian right now are ingesting their news from TikTok and YouTube rather than traditional information sources. So that has a big implication on the social structure. So that was the first sort of like platform shift that I've ever encountered. And and at the time at university, you know, I wanted to go on a summer trip, but I feel bad using my dad's money. So I looked at the list of employment on campus employment, and the highest paying one happened to be an AI lab. And mind you, this is like 1996, right? So AI is actually a bad word. Like you shouldn't go into AI so that's why it's high paying. So joined the research lab, and when I was graduating, the prof said, why don't we set up a company to commercialize the research lab to the Department of Defense in the US, which the company we co-founded and then subsequently worked there for 10 years and slowly do a much bigger defense contractor. And then that began my, and then me and a couple of buddies started this sort of neobank called Money Lion. And that was the time where the word Fintech wasn't born yet. But we sort of know that we are doing Fintech because I'm tech and the guy is Fin, my co-founder's friend. So we sort of think that we are doing Fintech. And that became one of the biggest neobanking digital bank in the United States. We listed in NYSE. And then I retired. So one of the ways that you can retire, rather than saving, you can make a lot of money. Then you can also retire that way. But after a while, a friend of mine, his name is Hanyo, and say, hey, since you're doing nothing, I have a digital bank to build. And I look around, there are not many people who have actual experience building digital bank. Do you mind helping? So that's when I jumped into the right bank. It's very interesting, and again, my whole experience, professional experience is that I'm intrinsically an engineer. So my talk today is going to be very focused on engineering. My core panel speakers talk about the landscape and talk about the journey of investment. I'm unfortunately going to talk a little bit more about technology and how it evolved, right? So what we're going to talk about today is specifically how large language models are changing human-computer interface. So, whoops. Okay, so for the longest time, when, again, I'm quite sure a lot of you guys have never encountered where when we first started using computer, it is through a terminal where you type command into stuff, right? And then we formed the Apple computer actually introduced the GUI form, which then evolved with Windows 98.5 and until today, where we have the mobile interface, which is the predominant way that most people interact with computer systems, right? Then about 2 years ago, there was an emergence of this thing called large language model. And then that's when the paradigm shift, and I'll explain how the paradigm shift from how we interact with computer fundamentally changes. So once upon a time, we were in this paradigm, and since the born of computing until like 2 years ago, we were in the paradigm of von Neumann computing. What does that mean is that we, in order to tell the computer to do something for us, you type into a terminal or you go to a very restrictive, very well designed user interface, and you instruct it to do something, and for all the same command that you type in, it will produce the same output. That's why it's called deterministic output, right? So that was the von Neumann computing paradigm for the last 30 to 40 years. However, things significantly changed about 2 years ago. So what's von Neumann computer means, right? It means explicit programming, where the programming itself you have to explicitly tell it what to do, and there's a specification for it. Symbolic reasoning, where you have code, you have Python code, Java code, and whatnot, and you follow certain level of thought processes. It's mostly input-output based, and the software abstraction layer from application layer to OS layer to compiler layer and whatnot. And most of the interactions were pre-planned and rigid, right? So, and then we moved into, 2 years ago, we moved into this LLM computer where in order to tell the computer to do something, we tell it through human natural language, right? So, and because human natural language are generally very diverse and probabilistic, which means that the output generally is quite probabilistic as well. Any one of you who play with ChatGPT, Gemini, and whatnot realize that it will never generate the same output almost ever, right? So this is a new paradigm of computing where we instruct a computer using our own language rather than the computer language, and that has significantly changed. I think that will power the next few years of user interface research and innovation. So, and thus birth what we call the third party of interaction, because for the longest time you have user interface or user experience UX that talk to the users like us, right, who are probabilistic and translate everything into a deterministic set of instruction in terms of APIs, right? So, however, user interface from now on, when we design it, have to deal with two probabilistic users, as in the large language model and the users themselves, and with that, have to subsequently output a deterministic set of instruction to the computer. So this is the big change, in my opinion. And so what does that mean, right? So which means that instead of viewing a computer or user interface as a tool, now we sort of form relationship with the computing, the human-computer interface, because you chat with them, and the agents generally remember what you talk about and attentive to you, and thus it sort of form a relationship rather than like a tool type of situation. So, and prompt engineering becomes very important. How you concisely, semantically tell the computer to do something becomes very important. So which means that going forward, programmers are less likely to be using something like Python to instruct it, but English in a very clear manner, right? So, and it becomes collaborative. A lot of times, how you work with computer is extremely collaborative with the AI agents rather than a single directional type of interaction. So this is one example of what we design in the right bank of this kind of user interface, and this is a commentary is that if you look at most of the digital bank out there in Malaysia, there is frankly no differentiation. You have slightly better onboarding, but you will go to the same deposit account, same debit card. So what we intend to do in the right bank is to completely reimagine what the user interface of a banking app can be in the age of generative AI. So let's see. Okay, let me learn how to play this. Yeah, it's a video, but let me see. Oh, take control of that. Okay. Wait. Cannot. Oh, it doesn't play the video. Okay. Sorry. Doesn't play the video. So it doesn't move. Okay, okay. If you have time, to me, I'll show it to you personally. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Fong. Don't worry, we have second round for showcasing the whatever product that you will having. All right. So that's conclude for round one. And now we come to second round, where the speakers will be talking about their innovative product and services. And again, we invite Mr. Fahmi to the stage to deliver his presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. If I stand like this, I think you can hear me, right? Or wait, too low. Hello. All right. Okay, good. So let me. Oh, belum lagi. All right. So I'm gonna resume a bit the story of WeChat, WeBank, WeChat Pay. Why I'm continue that story? All right. So this round two is actually we're gonna talk about the company itself, right? Because I think Prof. Kamal have given the title actually. So round two is actually about the company and how our company actually shaped the fintech. So our company is Sunline. So who is this Sunline? So Sunline is actually, right, so Sunline has been established way back in 2002 in Shenzhen, right? So of course, our company established to actually support the traditional bank, right? So but and of course, our company is the first company that actually first financial technology solution provider from China that venture out of China. So we started to go out of China in 2016, 2017, where we set up our office in Hong Kong and KL. So I'm going to go a bit detail on that. Right? So we are one of the global leading financial solution technology provider. Our total client is more than 800. Of course, majority is actually in China, right? But we started to gain some numbers actually in Southeast Asia. So inshallah, we started to go on to the Middle East, Africa and whatnot. With me on board, right? So we started to look into the Islamic banking as well. Right? The Indonesian market and everything. So hence that's why my strive is actually coming to picture. Right. So the story with Sunline, why the WeChat is actually quite significant. So fast forward, so we established in 2002, fast forward to 2013, 2014. So 2013, this is when WeChat established their WeChat Pay. So Alipay established earlier, right? So Alipay QR in 2011. Alipay itself is actually in 2004, but at that time they created to support the e-commerce. So 2013, they established WeChat Pay. And then after that, they want to actually diversify. So they want to create a digital banking. So of course, long story short, they search for, solution provider. So Sunline has been awarded to actually give a solution, actually provide a solution to WeChat. So WeBank, the biggest digital bank in the world, is actually powered by Sunline solution. So WeBank, how big is WeBank? WeBank, they have more than 500 million retail customer, more than 5 million micro SME entrepreneur. So what they do, right? So WeBank, they offer microfinance, right? So their microfinance is actually quite good in the sense that they can approve the loan application within minutes. So because WeChat, they have everything, right? So they have all the data. They have everything. They have your retail data. They have your food ordering. They have your
all the e-wallet transaction and whatnot, actually. So with that, all the data, they can approve the financing within a certain minute. And then they can actually give a certain limit based on whatever the data tells them, actually, right? So this WeBank and WeChat, right? So but now in China it's a bit different, actually. So what the WeBank and WeChat do, they purchase our source code, and then they start to develop themselves, and then 10 years later, so they start to resell the system. So, I mean, in 2014, they are our customer. Now they are our competitor. So, I mean, in China, it's actually open market. It's okay, actually, because before this, whoever that prospect that want to meet a client reference, we always bring them to WeBank. Because WeBank is just, it's very near, actually, walking distance from our office. All right. So I'm not going to go into all this detail, but what is the product that we do, right? So what is our product offering? So of course, the first one that I talked just now is actually the one that we supply to WeBank. That one is actually our digital core banking. And then we also have the core banking product for the traditional bank, and we also have a data product. Our data is actually quite advanced. We have more than 2,000 data scientists, right? So talking about I'm going to go to the core banking, right? So our core banking we have done some revamp in our core banking. In 2002, we started like legacy core banking, like similar legacy core banking. But in 2022, we have revamped the whole thing, and now it's actually based on the new microservices platform. And then as we speak, right, we have started to revamp it, and then we have started to embed AI into our core banking. So as you know, DeepSeek, so we start to embed DeepSeek to actually cater on the outside environment. And then we also have our own LLM, right? So, and then that LLM is actually to cater on the business side, on the business pipeline and the technical pipeline, right? So both of it will then assimilate and then come up with a proper solution, right? So other than powering the biggest digital banking in the world, we also powered some of the biggest banks in the world, like Postal Saving Bank, the Bank of China, right? So we have more than 800. So that's why over here, the state-owned bank, all of the state-owned bank is actually using our solution. So we have a lot of, I would say, fairy tale story in Southeast Asia. When we started in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, for example, where we managed to enable. The story is actually quite long, but I just shorten it up. So we managed to enable this so-called traditional bank transform into digital bank from 1 million customer to 20 million customer within a year. All right? So how they scale with all those microservices and whatnot, actually. Right? So there's a great story on that. I don't think the time is actually enough for me to tell that story. All right. So now, we went out, China 2016, 2017. We set up our office in Hong Kong and Malaysia, and then we have in Thailand and all Southeast Asia. So now we start to go into Middle East, Africa, right? So I just come back from South Africa. We try to explore that market. And then, as we speak, we have a few projects running. We have big one in Thailand. The oldest bank in Thailand now, we already implement the digital bank side of that bank. And then now we are implementing the legacy side of that bank, actually. So that one, a big project over there. We also have a big project in Philippines now. We also have a big project in Indonesia now. And the latest one, we just got the project replacing the whole core of the biggest Southeast Asia bank in Singapore. So probably you can know, you can actually Google it. So now, I think probably I will stop here, right? So before I end my remark, so how do we shape the fintech? Sunline. So we shape the fintech by powering the biggest digital core banking in the world and some of the biggest bank in the world. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fahmi. Okay, I would like to now invite Mr. Ashish Sharma for the second round.
Hello? Yeah, this is better. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Okay, not. Can. So, thank you. Thank you. That's a small technical glitch. Welcome to our world of technology. That's very common. I'll just skip through the slides. Okay. So before I start with what Backbase does, I just want to give a one slider view at what Backbase is to help banks is shift from the current, how a lot of traditional banks are still very, very transactional centric. They go to the customer with their products, what they have, and try to sell, to more on the right side, which is more relationship centric, where the banks need to know their customer, offer the right solutions at the right target and the right time, so they are able to get more business out of that customer. So this is what, in the nutshell, Backbase does. Sorry. We are a 20-year-old company. It's a company based in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and it's operated globally across Europe, Middle East, Americas, Southeast Asia, and Africa, Middle East. Its Asian operation started 5 years ago, just around COVID times, when they started the first office in Singapore. And after that, now out of 2,300 people, quarter of the people are in Asia. We have some 18 plus customers, banks customer in the region. Globally, we have 160 plus customers and as financial institutions. These are some of the large customers you see on the logo here. The key part of Backbase is heavy focus on technology, and hence 50% of the staff is into R&D. The R&D department, which always keeps on building the new tech stack on the platform. These are some of our customer logos in the ASEAN region. As you can see, some familiar logos like CIMB Singapore, Bank Muamalat in Malaysia. We just launched last month their new digital banking app called Atlas that was powered by Backbase. And there are such more logos in Australia, Vietnam, India. The HDFC Bank, the largest private sector bank in India, is also a Backbase customer. And the newest being Baka Bank in Vietnam. Now coming to the platform, about how does Backbase help all of these things which I was talking about in the first session of mine. So this is the Backbase AI-powered banking platform, which we have, the latest version we have launched just early this year. This platform controls the entire customer lifecycle journey, right from onboarding a new to the bank customer. When a customer is first time onboarding himself or herself on a mobile banking app, how do you onboard seamlessly? How do you, after onboarding, able to do his daily banking needs seamlessly? And this is for all type of customers, be it retail customer, be it family banking, be it affluent customer, be it SME. And the same platform also has the employee journeys also from the bank side of it. Because traditionally, banks have a lot of different multiple silo system when it comes to their in-house systems. and their mobile channels and internet banking are at different silos. They don't talk to each other. What Backbase is trying to do is have one unified platform where the bank's employee systems and the customer systems are all on the same platform. So there is a seamless communication, seamless engagement, and across onboarding banking, the employees of the bank are able to assess the customers if they need any assistance, do the verifications, do the due diligence process at the behind the scenes also. So it's everything into one platform. Keeping customer at the center, the entire platform has been designed around the customer. I will come to the AI layer also, which we have launched last year. Within the same platform, we also launched the intelligence fabric, or the AI layer, which helps drive business outcomes for the banks. The platform also needs to be very, very relationship driven. Hence, to know your customer, you need to understand your customer better. Right from the time the customer becomes a bank's customer, how do you keep the engagement on so that you're activating the customers, and also cross-sell, upsell the right solutions as per the needs. Same way how we consume the other services like Netflix or Instagram and everything else. Same way, banks also are trying to maximize their customer lifetime value using AI power, and this is across all the segments of the customers. These are the three critical things which Backbase differentiates and offers to its clients, which are banking technology banks worldwide. We offer tailored value propositions, which is nothing but the same mobile banking app. If I open, I will have a different experience, different solution products offered to me. If Fahmi opens, it will be different for him. If you guys open, it will be different for him. One app, but having different value propositions, and we have some live customer stories also I'm going to talk about. The other part is AI-powered sales and services, how you utilize AI to better drive your sales as a bank. We help banks using our LLM models and agentic process automation to, I would say, fast-track the efficiencies of the employees. And end of the day, everything is on the tech side. If you have a right tech technology, everything can be done. So this is a quick glimpse about what do I mean by tailored value proposition. As you see, the same mobile banking app from XYZ bank. However, for young professional, established family, affluent, gig economy, Islamic banking, it will be different. It can be all rendered as per the needs of your customers. That is the power of putting everything onto one platform, which Backbase provides with their customers. Yeah, it has all the dashboards, product bundling, depending on your segments of the customer. You can have various navigation. It's personalized. The customers can do it themselves also, a lot of things. Can personalize their home screen and everything. The last one you see is the Atlas app, actually. Yeah. Another example of live example of tailored value proposition is a bank in Saudi. Is the biggest bank in Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Saudi National Bank. That bank wanted to offer different value propositions for the expats who are living in the country, and also the Gen Z families, and also the travelers, because a lot of people go for Hajj in Saudi. So they wanted to have differentiated experiences for all of these segments, and our platform was able to help them achieve this. This was just the retail segment I spoke about. Imagine the complexity to handle these kind of experiences to be given to end customer if they have commercial, corporate segments. If there are, because in a corporate banking customer, there are multiple hierarchies also. There is a CFO of a company, there is a CTO of a company, everybody does different things on the bank's channel. So the complexity increases, and hence, it takes a lot of effort to drive that value also. The last part of the three parts which I spoke about, tailored value propositions and how the architecture helps. The third point is how the AI is driving all of these. As Backbase, we do not believe AI as one single part or an outside tool. AI has to be very, very unified as part of the entire services a bank offers to their clients. And hence, these are the four pillars on which Backbase has been building their AI story. How do we help grow revenue for the banks? Hence, we have launched a product called Customer Lifetime Orchestrator, which helps banks offer the right products and do more cross-sell, upsell effectively based on the segmentation and super segmentations. And everything is generated by AI engines to offer those right recommendations. Second part is we are moving on to conversational banking, like a chat GPT kind of experience with AI, plus giving holistic advice to the end customers also, not just listening to their conversations, but understanding the customers better, knowing their transactions, knowing their product bundles within the bank, and offering them the right holistic advice so that they just don't overspend on things. They just caution them and give them the right advice at the right time. The third part is how do we help banks to have better efficiency using AI. For this, we are working on agentic process automation, wherein those agents would be helping doing some mundane tasks in a bank, like example, doing the document verification check, doing the due diligence part of it, and it can be complemented by a manual intervention also. Otherwise, you can fast straight through also. So this is the operational efficiency part. Last part is how do we help banks go faster time to market, how we use AI and technology. So we have embedded AI into also our entire software development lifecycle, across development, across business analysts, across testers. We are having, working with those AI agents, parallelly working with our implementation teams to go faster to the market. So I'll stop here. This is what I wanted to share about what Backbase is trying to do in new fintech. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish. Okay, just remind the audience that to be ready with your questions, yeah, after this Q&A session. All right. We have been talking, the speakers have been talking about their own expertise about wealth management, Islamic banking for solution, and also banking solutions. Okay, be ready with your questions. Next, I will, Mr. Waiken is already on stage. Thank you. Please proceed, your second round.
Okay, round two. Who here wants to be incredibly wealthy? Okay, more hands now. Okay, I think that was just a provocation. But who here wants to manage their money better? I think we can all agree on that. So Stashaway is an investment platform. We entered the market as the first robo-advisor in 2018, and it's been a long 7 years. But I think what is refreshing about this role and being an investment company is that the markets are always exciting, too exciting. It shouldn't be too stressful for our clients, but our role is to be on top of markets and manage your wealth well. But managing money or being in the markets has been very stressful recently. It's always been stressful, but this year with Trump and the trade wars and all of that, it's been even more, I won't say difficult, but there are more considerations and factors influencing the market. But at the same time, we're not helped by the media that we consume, right? I think the thing about technology is that it's double-edged, right? Like it's not a it's not just a good thing or just a bad thing. As humans, we are tribal. We thrive on relationships with people, but the technology layer really kind of influences us much more than it used to be. We're not living in villages anymore where our source of news comes from the village elder. Right now, we're all in our own social media, traditional media. We are all just believing the things we want to believe. But the thing about this media is that it's not necessarily on our side. It's there to provoke you. It's there to cause polarization. It's there to engage you. But engage sometimes also means putting people against each other, right? Conflict. And then there's bots and all that kind of make a small thing seem like a bigger thing than it is, including the financial markets. It's not helpful when you see this and you feel fear that I shouldn't be investing, or I shouldn't be putting my money to work in such a volatile market in a volatile time. But at the same time, as we speak here today, equities, gold, cryptocurrencies are at all-time highs, which means that despite all the volatility, for the patient, for the savvy, there's money to be made. There's investment gains to be had. And a lot of the headlines before that and all that are just distractions from getting you to the investment destination that you deserve. And Stashway is here to help you kind of cut through that noise. It's here to help you balance all that information. And robo-advisors are built on three main things: affordability, convenience, and intelligence. Affordability is a huge factor because if you do not pay attention to fees, every percentage you pay in fees is a percentage away from your returns. Service providers need to make money. Service providers need to run their business. But there is a fine line between charging enough and charging too much. This is what we charge, and this is what we charge compared to the industry. So if I were to show you, let's say, an investment option that both give 10% gross, sounds nice. 10% is a perfectly acceptable outcome. One platform takes 1%, so you go home with 9. Another platform takes 7%, then you go home with 3. The thing is, people go away with 3 all the time, but they don't know about it. They don't know about it. It's a huge industry which relies on agents and banks. Wealth is a huge industry. It's very difficult to push. It's very difficult to get people to invest. That's why there's all these people and infrastructure out there to get you to invest. And all that costs 7%. It incentivizes the people in between, the companies in between, the armies of agents and the network of branches, all the digital ads. It costs them 7% to do it. We are trying to do that with 1%. We haven't yet completely succeeded. We're not at the destination. The unit trust industry is 500 billion with a B. And Stashaway is 1 billion. So we're not even 1% of the total industry. But the industry is incredibly large, is incredibly lucrative, but for who? So we're trying to make it affordable for all of us to make more money. I would also say convenience is a really big thing. Digital is taken for granted at this stage. Digital is no longer special. That's why the interfaces we put out are incredibly important, and what we choose to put on screen is incredibly important. If, let's say, you downloaded an app, any app, and you just press all the green buttons that they want you to push, and you don't press all the small gray buttons that they don't want you to push, you will probably end up doing exactly what they want you to do. So we, as an investment company, need to think very clearly about what we choose to show, and sometimes also choose not to show. Why do you put a number there? Why do you put a graph there? Why do you put a pie chart there? All these considerations are to help you feel like you are on top of your investment portfolio. You understand what's going on. You understand the risks. You understand the return. It's meant to make you feel assured that your money is safe and growing. In some countries or some cultures, more is more, right? Chinese interfaces are very different. E-commerce interfaces are very different. Touch and go interface is very different. Ours is very different, and we choose this way for a specific reason. It's to make you feel okay. It's to make you feel safe, to know that you're fine. So how can we help you grow your money? So after you receive your salary, young kids, I forget to tell you that one day you all need to get jobs. I don't know if you know this, but some of you will go start businesses, and that's a beautiful thing, but most of you will need to get jobs. And I hope for all of our sakes, very fulfilling and rewarding jobs. After you get your money, you need to allocate your money according to your right needs. Notice on the 50%, I didn't put clubbing, I didn't put partying, I didn't put 11:11. These are immediate needs, not immediate wants. But feel free to fill it up no matter how you like. I'm not here to judge, but they are immediate needs and wants, and that's where most of your money will go. Okay? After that, you should allocate your money smartly. Some put away for a rainy day. Like I said, money is, wealth is power, and sometimes that power can be used for good, to help someone who is sick in hospital, to fix your car, to lay you over while you look for your next career move. All of this goes into your emergency funds. Then you have medium-term goals, things that are bigger ticket, but maybe not in the millions. Things like a down payment on a new house, a down payment on a new car. All of these things are things that you need in the medium term, maybe less than 5 years away. And then there are things that are more long-term, your kids' education, your retirement. If you put this money away, where do you put this money? There should be the right products for you on the right platforms so that they can grow according to these needs. So how do we do that? First, we have a product for your cash. I talked about Clever Cash just now, where the cash jumps from one source of returns to another in a really safe way. Stashaway Simple is meant to help you do that. We invest in what's called a money market fund, and this money market fund is invested in FDs and short-term bonds, very safe stuff, so your money earns more than what you would get at a bank. At a bank, normal bank would give you 0%. Digital banks maybe a little bit higher than that, maybe 3% plus. But what we do here is we let you earn, enable you to earn this amount, and you can take your money out anytime, right? So it's a little bit more liquid than an FD. And then you have your medium-term goals. You take a little bit more risk. You hope to get maybe 5, 6, 7% returns for those things like your down payment on your home, like your car. And then you have longer-term goals where you can afford to take higher risks. Higher risks get you higher returns, but the missing ingredient here is you need time. You need time to ride out the volatility, okay? And here, when we're talking about high risk, we're talking about 8, 9, 10, maybe even 12% returns. When you see these portfolios over here, these pie charts, what's so important about these pie charts? How often you buy a financial product and you don't know what's inside? It's like you buy food and you don't know what are the ingredients. You don't know what you're eating, you don't know what you're consuming, you don't know what your money is doing. Your role as an investor is not to collect financial products. Your role as an investor is to invest in things that help you get to where you want to go. You're not here to say, are you invested, good sir? It's like, oh yes, I have ASB, I have insurance. No. I'm invested in equities, I'm invested in cash, in gold. And how do you know this? You actually have to understand what's inside your financial products. And we hope we do a decent job at showing you what you've been investing in. And ideally, it's about matching the needs, your needs to a solution. If you want to save for emergency fund, Stashaway Simple is there to help you. If you want to invest in something more longer term, then our aggressive or higher risk portfolios are there for you. There are always things to invest in, but your role as an investor is to match that investment to your needs. And a lot of times that can be answered with, is it short term or is it long term? How much risk you're willing to take? There are a lot of shiny things out there. And investment firms and brokers and things like that will show you the things that are performing well right now, no one will ever know what's going to happen in the future, but they'll tell you what's doing well right now. Gold's doing really well right now, Bitcoin's doing really well right now, but who knows what's going to happen in the future? So it's up to you to allocate those funds accordingly to meet your risk level that you can stand, that you can live with, so that you meet your goals in the future. That meeting your goals part is the North Star. So I just wanted to end with this because, like I said, money is very important, but it's not everything, and you don't really want to spend a lot of your time just day trading or glued to a screen. You want to live your life, right? Life is about experiences, it's about family, about friends, it's about learning. So investing helps you enable your life, not the other way around. And I think that in this day and age of this over-financialization, or this kind of how we see success in a really strange way, I think we should turn the tables and understand what's important for us in life and invest accordingly, and then let that money grow with your capital, with your time, with your patience, and then hopefully we'll get there together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aiken. Okay, good advice to the young generation, yeah, to save your money, 50, 20, and 5, and 5% for long-term needs. Okay, next, Mr. Fong Chiman is already on the stage. Okay, please proceed for the second round for 10 minutes.
Let's hope that this works better. Can you see if you can play the video? So that was the, I was going to show you that. So this will be the first text and voice to action banking app in Asia in general, and we have never seen it in the world as well. So this, and the main thing about this this bank is that when we start building it, it was about 2 years ago, and that was when the advance of LLM was rage, even with the programming world. So I built Moneyline with about like 300 to 400 engineers. In this bank, I set out to do it in 6 months with 20 engineers, and we did that. It was we just built everything from ground up. The app, we just built it from ground up. We did not use anyone else. The only external vendor we used was a core banking ledger, and we managed to, and this is because of the advancements of AI in building banks, right? So and even when we are comparing with our peer digital banks as well, like GX and Aon, most of them have more than 100 engineers or have a very hefty outsourcing bill, which is quite different from us. We have zero outsourcing bill. So, and this is also the first bank in Malaysia that the whole tech stack is being built by Malaysians. Like it's entirely built. The 20 people are all Malaysians. So, and after building the bank and building the interface that you saw, there were obviously challenges, and the challenges was that Malaysia, the predominant power in artificial intelligence are United States and China, and both of the country is very single language. So one of the biggest challenge that we had was what we call code switching in the AI world, which means that or code mixing, which means that within a sentence we have more than one language, right? Which is generally what Malaysians do. Sometimes we have 3 languages within a sentence that present a challenge. And we started off supporting English and Malay. And problem with Malay text is that there are a lot of abbreviation and that can be, you know, like it's tough to understand it. So what we did is that it was problematic. We used OpenAI, we used Gemini, and you name it. We didn't use DeepSeek because it wasn't out yet at the time. So it's how fast things are changing. So we set out to build our own large language model, and thus giving birth to the YTL AI Labs. So we built our own large language model that is intrinsically Malaysian. So that's hopefully, let me see. Okay, can you play? So this is, it's called Ilmu. And this is, it will be launched soon. This is one of, this is what we, so for example, this is like question and answer of SPM Sejarah. And maybe like some of this stuff, then we can easily translate it to Chinese. So these help, you know, if the Chinese students who are less good in BM can do it. And the funny thing, and I really like doing it, is to translate it to weird stuff like Kelantanis. And it works very well. The Kelantanis here can tell us if that actually sounds Kelantanis. But a few of my friends say that it does sound very Kelantanis. So this is what a quintessential Malaysian large language model will look like. So which means in the bank you can actually speak Kelantanis to the bank app, and not just, you know, what we call Bahasa Rasmi. And this is also the first large language model that passed SPM BM with an A, so which means that it's much better than my BM. So and it's interesting. The essay that it wrote was actually quite fascinating. And we had a blindfold test of like SPM graders with like actual students versus LLM, and this LLM actually won hands down most of the time. So some introduction. The word artificial intelligence, the word intelligence actually is innately human. So what does that mean is that it reflects our culture, about our upbringing, and that's why I think we need what we call the sovereign LLM, which means that an artificial intelligence that is specific to our culture. Simply because our culture is reasonably diverse. If you are Singaporean, just because of the virtue of small country is of 5 million people versus like 33 million people, they might not be, and they are very English speaking, so which means that the culture part is not that big. But in Malaysia, the culture of Kelantanis Malay versus Perlis Malay or versus Kedah Malay are actually quite different. One of the things that I really liked to play around with the large language model is to translate like an English piece or Malay piece into a Hokkien Malay piece, which is like mind-blowing. And I think it gets its information from like some part of like the Penang community where people do speak Malay, but with Hokkien accent. So this is, I think LLM as a technology is not just, you know, something that help you in your work or daily lives, but it also preserve the culture that we have. So Ilmu is state-of-art performance. It's not just good at Malay stuff. It is good at all of the international benchmark as well, such as NMLU, IF Eval, all the international benchmark that other LLMs are subjected themselves to. It's a multi-model, and obviously is built in Malaysia by Malaysians as well. Oops. Okay, so this illustrates, so this is Malay MMLU. Malay MMLU is a piece of, is a benchmark. The benchmark is essentially an exam for large language model or for AI. And this is the 0.1 version of our model. The 1.0 version will be launched August 12th at the ASEAN AI Summit. Obviously it scores pretty well, it scores really well in languages and other part of the exam as well, in humanities, STEM, social sciences, and others, relative to other large language models. So, so I think this is the, so it performs comparable with like 4.0 DeepSeek and Llama as well. Across this kind of like popular benchmark around the world. And yeah, this is it. Like we are proud to present this piece of the technology as well. It's not necessarily fintech, but it is powering a fintech in Right Bank, and it is powering a few other fintechs in Malaysia as well, who are working as our partner. And it's built and owned and operated by Malaysians, and it's trained on Malaysians' languages and data. It's designed and reflect our own cultural sensibility, and it's really good at academic endeavors. Good. August 12th. August 12th is when we are launching the 1.0 version of it, and that was the ASEAN AI Summit. Go and sign up. It's a huge conference, so thanks. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mr. Fong. So now we have already our own, yeah, AI tools. Huh? All right. Very good. Okay. The next round will be Q&A session. So I will invite all the speakers to the stage in front. All right. Please. We will be receiving questions from the audience. Okay, the question and answer sessions are now open. If there are any question from the floor. Yes? Yeah. Do we have enough microphones? Or I can use this one. Hold on. Okay, I think I asked first, the first question. All right, with the advent of this digital bank, how do you see the existing traditional bank? Will they cease to exist, or they will complement the function of this finance? Maybe Mr. Jamus. Okay, Mr. Ashish Sama.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, yeah. See, This is a question which keeps on coming in my daily life, so I would be happy to answer that. Traditional banks has been in existence for not decades, centuries, and they would continue to do that. That's what I feel. The reason being, they are able to, I would say, use the technologies in a right way to be able to adapt to the changing world. If the banks who are unable to do that, yes, they possibly might have a risk, but banks who are able to adopt to the new technology and are able to succeed with the new technologies, for sure. And I mean, digital banks like Eon, right, definitely helps fast track that innovation mindset also in those traditional banks. They have a lot of silo, they have a lot of legacy problems, to be honest. They also understand, they also want to innovate and provide better experiences to the customer, but because of those silos, it becomes challenging for them. But I think they are coming up the curve. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yes, from the floor.
Yes, hi, moderator and all of panels. I'm Zairina from Unimai. My question is about AI revolution in fintech. Okay, how will generative AI move from assisting financial tasks to autonomously managing financial strategies and decisions by 2025 and beyond? My second question is about blockchains and DeFi. DeFi is a decentralized finance. Okay. Will blockchain's technology finally break free from its cryptocurrency ties and become the foundation for mainstream financial innovations by 2025? That's all. Thank you.
Anyone can?
Okay, I think from a generative AI in finance standpoint, I think it is going to displace. If you think about it, the reason why app and web pages appear is because to support a banking operations or even a restaurant, for example, right? The reason why you book restaurant online is with an app is simply because the cost of human being doing that, serving that is expensive and it's not scalable, right? So something that is provocative to think about is that with this kind of generative AI, where essentially what you have is a very scalable human workforce that is artificial intelligence. So it might disintermediate the applications, for example, right? It could entirely be like you just call a number and the bank will be able to cater to all of your needs and will be scalably be doing so. And most time than not, if you're like my mom who cannot possibly do a transfer in CIMB and wait until I come back at night to do it for her, despite the fact that she is on Facebook 8 hours a day. There are such population, and I think for them, disintermediating the app is something that is interesting, and I think it is going to happen in the future, very near future. Even if you look at Right Bank, we are disintermediating a lot of the user interface that used to be to do transfers, to do other type of financial transactions as well. So with this kind of generative AI tool, it will only get better, right? So it will also suggest potentially how do you invest, how do you protect yourself from like the downside with insurances and stuff like that, and be able to immediately shop for you across multiple ecosystem and even purchase it for you based on your ability to pay. So I think from a financial standpoint, generative AI, as with a lot of other industries, is going to be extremely transformative. On the Bitcoin stuff, nowadays I see a lot of stable coin being used for remittance and whatnot. So that can be like the first breakthrough. But then, as of anything else, I think there's still a lot of noises in the crypto world. I don't see it breaking up into the mainstream anytime soon. That's different.
So the first question is about how can Gen AI help you with financial strategies and managing your money better. I think that's an incredibly exciting future because financial industry is very confusing and the interests are not always aligned to you as a consumer, right? It's really there as a business to extract as much value from the customer but keep them on the hamster wheel. So I think, imagine now with tech on your side, you have perfect information on what you should be investing in or what financial products you should be purchasing. If let's say you take investing as a use case and just keep it really simple and say, I would like to retire in 2035. I have, you need to give the AI some inputs, right? I earn this much. I want to retire with a certain amount of money. EPF obviously is a factor. Please suggest to me what I should be invested in. And this AI presumably would know all the options out there that you can take to invest your money and also the money from your EPF to divert to some of these other funds and give you the pros and cons and ultimately let you decide. It can also go through all the different T's and C's and different fees to do like a really good net analysis for you. And even you can after that go, okay, I'm pretty happy with this. I would like to include certain parameters. I want, I care about the environment or I'm Muslim, so maybe present me only with the high ESG ranking or Sharia options. Like these are all really exciting things that actually a good financial planner today should be able to do. But again, financial planners sometimes are incentivized by the unit trust industry to push their product rather than think about you first. So I think with AI and you can use it for your own interest to navigate this really complex world. And you could even, once you set up, like, say 1 year in, after you already start using this AI, you would know more about you, your spending habits, how you've invested your money and so forth. You can ask it kind of running, prompting questions like, oh, I've heard about this crypto, should I invest in it? Then it could say like, no, I know you better than yourself. You would absolutely freak out and not be able to sleep. Please don't invest. Maybe it cannot block you, but it can stop you from putting in too much. Maybe it's like maybe try a little bit. You never know what's going to happen. And also scam prevention. I think AI could actually detect bad actors to stop you from transferring your money to dodgy bank accounts and getting attracted to rewards that are just too good to be true. Is like, imagine we use Right Bank and it's like, I got this incredibly exciting Telegram message. Then you put it in the prompt and it's like, beware, this is a scam. Please report this straight away. Actually, Right Bank can do it for you, right? Like, that's. I think AI can really, really serve us well in the financial world. And as a financial provider, the scary thing is, you need to put the best product out there. Your product needs to perform because all these AIs are trained on similar models. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but a lot of the flow of funds will go to the best provider. And if you don't provide the best returns or value proposition, fees and all that, it might not choose you. And also another interesting thing is like, what does it mean for design and interfaces in the future when AI is making all these decisions for you? You don't need to design a nice app because humans are not clicking buttons anymore. It's all about the bare bones. 6%, 5.9%, 8%. Okay, Sharia, okay, this to go away. It's incredibly exciting. Yang blockchain too, I think, just very briefly, I think the opportunity that blockchain presents is to tokenize real-world assets. For what use case, I'm still a skeptic. Some people want to raise funds and do it faster than listing on Bursa. Some people want to monetize. Maybe, BAC owns this building already, but they want money, so maybe they sell some of these assets they already have by tokenizing it. So I think there are definitely use cases, and blockchain is there to facilitate this unitization of these things. But I hope that at some point, maybe you guys are technologists, but for most people, blockchain will fade into the background. We won't really care whether it's blockchain or not. We just kind of trust it. We don't know how our bank really works. We don't know how internet really works. I'm insulting a lot of people here, but like as a normal consumer, you just accept, right? So I think blockchain has the opportunity to really, serve not just crypto, but also the financial industry on a wider basis. Thanks.
All right. So the first question about the AI, actually. So I think because coming from the core banking, so probably for the benefit of the student over here, I'm coming from the core banking side. So you can imagine if it's a cars, I'm the one who developed the engine, right? So, and then you probably developed the radios and all those. And then Stashaway probably the one that, probably the car itself actually, but a modern car. And then this one is actually a bank, right? So if we can layer it out, right? So Sunline is actually at the bottom, the engine, and then you have the back base, and then you have the right bank and Stashaway actually. But Stashaway is more of that investment, quite independent from that. All right. So just now I talked about the AI, how we actually develop the core banking and all those actually, but not directly like both of two panel actually talk about. How we actually implement AI within our core banking development is that we have DeepSeek, where that DeepSeek is actually start to look into the outside environment, outside demand, and then we also have our own LLM actually. So this LLM, right, so we have the LLM that developed the business requirement, right? So this business requirement LLM will work together, right, with the technical LLM. So hence, eventually, it will create the technology that suits the demand of the business itself. So that one is actually on the AI from our perspective. So I just want to touch a bit on that blockchain. So of course, we know the blockchain, and then there's a lot of product actually on top of that blockchain. The most famous product, of course, the cryptocurrency. So in my opinion, right, so I think I just want to touch a bit about that cryptocurrency in 2025, right, whether we can start to use cryptocurrency, right, whether we can use it as a legal tender or not. I don't know whether you have you tried to use that? How long does it take to settle, transfer? Do you know? It take quite some time actually, right? So what I would like to say over here is that if you compare against, say for example, you want to transfer, using Visa or Master or whatnot, right? So that take like microseconds. So this one, because it needs to go through chain and all those, right? Chaining, it take more than a few minutes actually to settle the payment, right? So yeah, so as of 2025, maybe not yet. And then the product of blockchain, which is a cryptocurrency, it remained probably financial asset. Maybe you may have another opinion. But in my opinion, probably it still remains speculative until until it became saturated actually, because Bitcoin, if you follow, they're gonna have the halving actually. Every few years they're gonna have a halving, right? So until it's stable, so then only you can actually use it as a legal tender, right? So hence, probably not in 2025, probably few years, probably 20 or 30 years in the future, right?
Okay.
Hello, my name is Hood. I'm from Unimai, and I'm currently a student. So my question is more general. As students, how do we approach this information? Because personally, for me, there are a lot of big terms that I don't really quite understand yet. So after this session, what are our takeaways? What do you suggest we can do? Is it like, should we start looking into investments, or should we start studying more about these things? So yeah, generally, what should be our takeaways as students? Thank you.
We touch that in the conclusion later. Just question and answers first. Conclusion, we come to you, yeah? After this. All right, any more?
Yes, hi. I'm also a student in Unimai, and I would love to talk about Sunline and also Ashish's work because you've done your work in the Middle East, right? And also in Africa. I'm really curious about the reception about how the Middle Easterns took for your work because fintech is, you know, technology, and when it comes to Middle East, we're not very technologically advanced. So I want to know how the reception is like over there.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, specifically to Sunline, right? Okay. Sunline is actually a China company, right? So, so probably I'm going to expose a bit of strategic approach how we go onto this kind of market. We work closely together with Huawei, right? So Huawei already have their footprint over there. So that gives us some head start actually, right? So because Huawei, together with Huawei, usually we will have, a meeting, a conference and whatnot. Most of the receptions, how they actually accept us, I think they are quite accepted. It's quite a positive response actually, right? However, on the Middle East market, it's actually quite okay. In terms of acceptance. However, this one, okay, I'm going to go into the, I'm not sure whether it's going to be racist or not, right? But Middle East, as in Middle East, they still prefer the white company, actually, right? They still look into the skin. Yeah, white man company, right? It is Mat Saleh, actually. They still prefer Mat Saleh, right? But when we go into, so that is actually Middle East. But when we go into the African market, okay, we're still a business entities actually, right? So there is a difficulties to match against our offerings and their demand actually, because in between there is a money. So budget actually, right? So budget. Hence, there is a solution for that budget actually, which is we can probably offer a different kind of model. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this SaaS, software as services, platform as services, and all those actually. But this one, when you want to do SaaS, PaaS, all this one, in the new country, it take, more. It's quite difficult actually, right? So you need to know some partner, right? You need to confine within the regulatories, the data residencies and whatnot actually. So in short, Middle East now they are quite good. I mean in terms of acceptance, but I see they still prefer white people, right? But but in Africa market, right? They want us. Even in Pakistan market, they want us. But there's some mismatch on that perspective, right? But we start to work on that actually. Yep.
You want to add?
Hello, can I don't know if I have to say anything else because. Hello, I don't know if I can say anything else. You already have sold that. It's Mat Saleh, so. but just to be on a serious note, from our experience as Backbase, selling in Middle Eastern market, I see the push is more because of the demographics. If you see the demographics of the largest economies, be it UAE or Saudi Arabia or Qatar for that matter, it's very highly youth. It's very youth-centric, and the youth is adopting the technology as a rapid pace. And they are driving this push for the banks to innovate and offer them those services in a more digital, more streamlined way. And hence, we have seen a tremendous growth for Backbase platform itself in those markets. In fact, in Saudi itself, we have 3 major banks as our customer. Same goes in Qatar and expanding heavily in UAE and Oman as well as we speak. So I think that is the key driving factor, which at least we have seen. That is one. Another part is the regulations part. I understand Middle East is a bit conservative when it comes to regulation, the data residency part and the cloud adoption. For us, the success factor was because Backbase is not a cloud-only platform. So this is a platform which is developed on microservices architecture, So Kubernetes and all, if you understand, so it is deployable on-prem also, but of course with some additional efforts, but at least it is doable. So banks are adopting us, considering that this technology is helping them give newer experiences to the customer, at the same time are fitting into the regulatory environment. And whenever the regulators are ready for cloud and multi-clouds and all, the platform is scalable to do that also. So those are the reasons for us that we saw those success in this market. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Any more question? Yeah. Front here, please. Front here, front.
Hello. Hi. Sorry. My name is Mutmain. I'm not a student here, although I look like one. So I am actually from Masref. I have one question, right? So in Malaysia particularly, our regulators, like Securities Commissions and Bank Negara, right? They are actually currently pushing the financial institutions for a more inclusive, for more accessible services and products, especially for those who are considered as unbankable or underbanked segment of the society, right? So my question is that we talked about fintech, we talked about AI technology and advancement. So my question is that how can all these advancement and technologies be utilized to support this agenda, and how can it be used to fill in the gaps for a more accessible, for a more equitable and fairer wealth distribution in that case? Thank you.
Hello. Hello, my name is Ashok. I used to be a user experience researcher, and I like the research being conducted by YTL AI Lab on the ILMU project. So wish you all the best with that. I just would like to know, how will the user journey of a customer when they walk in the lab, once, let's say, this YTL AI Lab tool is in the bank? Yeah.
Regulators. Okay. So yes. So that's a thing, right? I think a lot of us, as I alluded. Hello. Okay. As I alluded earlier, I think the regulators around the world wants inclusivity on financial services, right? And as financial services provider ourselves, we want inclusivity as well, because those are untapped markets, right? So, and this is why we think about and we look around, right? Like there are digital bank in Hong Kong, there are digital banks in Singapore. How are they more inclusive? And there are digital bank in Malaysia, for example, right? How are they inclusive? And how can we out-inclusive the other digital bank? And the answer, unfortunately, is that for keen observers, is that the Singaporean banks, digital banks, really don't care about inclusivity because it's 98% bank country or 99% bank country. Inclusivity is not in, and the same thing with Hong Kong digital bank as well. So the good thing is that the bar is low, right? So and again, if you are customer of GX Bank or Aeon Bank, very soon you realize that it is the same thing, as provide the same services. It's not necessarily more inclusive. So what we set out to do is, from first principle standpoint, so what does inclusivity means, right? So which means that we are able to cater our financial services to lower the barrier of entry of all the financial services that we provide to everyone. These include like the kampong dwellers, the city dwellers, and including migrant workers, for example, right? Expat you don't have to care about, like they have like private bankers and all the stuff, right? So to us is that it can be, and the good thing is that we are in the age of generative AI, which means that we start off with natural language, right? Like how that is possibly the lowest barrier of entry to almost any services, not just financial services, and this is what we set out to do, and you can see the result of it, right? So this is how we do it, and I think there is another trend as well where when we talk about inclusivity, which means extending credit to maybe B40s and whatnot, which, you know, I think personally I think it's morally to think that to be more inclusive, which means that B40 has to assume more debt. That part of it might not be very. I don't think that the theory behind it is very strong. And you mentioned wealth distribution. Unfortunately, I don't think financial services is the instrument to better wealth distribution. I think economic policy can be, but I think financial institution, what we do is that we provide, we lower the barrier of entry to our financial services, and that alone can be quite powerful. Oh, user experience. If I get my way around, rigid insurance will not be something that anyone has to go through. You come into the app or come into anything, you see a text box where you speak to or you type in or you upload images, right? I think human communication are innately multimodal, which means that we don't just do text, we don't just click on button, we do voices as well, we do text as well, we do images as well, we do videos. Those are, you come into our app and that will be like almost like a Google bar with a mic there, and that's the only way that you interact with it. And I think that is the most natural way to interact with a computer and lowers the barrier of entry. And however, when we release end of August, you will realize that we also have user interface because that is something that is required by regulators. But if I get my way, that will be the future of it, which will be a very clean interface with very few buttons on it.
Okay, I can take only one more question. Is there? We are running out of time. Yeah, one more. Your hand's not so high, though.
Hi, my name is Marwa. I am with the Unimai, and I want to ask about the fintech infrastructure in Africa. So you touch upon the Middle Eastern region, and you said that they prefer the white man technology. But to relate it to Africa is, how do infrastructural challenges in Africa affect the expansion of fintech companies, and how are geopolitical tensions, such as effort by Western countries to limit influence of China fintech on the continent, affect the development of digital infrastructure? Thank you.
Wow, all right. Thank you. I'm not sure because I'm not a politician. Okay, it's okay, no. On a serious note, I think, of course, freshly come back from African. In South Africa, surprisingly, it's actually quite vibrant, right? So we thought that, I mean, it's Africa. By default, you thought that, but quite vibrant actually. But in terms of digital, of course, it's not as advanced as us actually in Southeast Asia. I think if you travel throughout the world, the most advanced fintech or digital, right, is actually over here. Yeah, over here, Southeast Asia, even China and all those. And then if you go to the European, they are quite specialized. A lot of app is actually quite specialized. And then when you go to the African market, some of them is not even have all this fintech actually. All right. So from the geopolitical side, so that's why when, like I say, we work with the Huawei. Huawei have a very strong relation with all this country, right? So in terms of, and then before we enter the market, right? So they will give us some green, yellow light actually, whether we can go in, and then if you want to go in, this is how we can actually strategize it. And then if within this country, for example, the requirement as such, so they will start to do all this actually. We work closely with Huawei, so hence that's why, I mean, in term, when we want to actually explore a new market, we really rely on a strong partner actually, right? So if because I don't want to drop into detail on that geopolitical thingy actually. So yeah, so in African market we work I mean closely with the partner. So I just want to go a bit back on the Middle East, the white man. Okay, so I think okay, I want to raise up the racist thing, right? So because probably they prefer because of the Trump thing and all those, right? So probably, yeah, they prefer the Western side of it, right? So, yeah, that's it.
All right, I think I have to end this Q&A session. We already passed the time. All right, so as the final round, the final fourth round, okay, we like to have the concluding remarks from all the speakers, starting with J. Fahmi. Concluding for 5 minutes each.
All right, thank you. So probably the conclusion remark, I think we have discussed a lot on the digital bank, the fintech, even the blockchain and all those. So for conclusion remark, probably I just, I just want to echo the guys from Mashraf, right? So just now he asked about the unserved, underserved, unbanked market actually. So if we look into the digital banking, right? So when Bank Negara award this digital banking license to these 5 so-called conglomerate, their main objective is actually to tap on the business that traditional bank cannot tap. The unserved, underserved, unbanked, right? So all this. Of course, I mean, during the pre-submission of license and all those, right? At that time, I'm still working with my previous company, right? So there's a lot of prospect, a lot of company that approach, and then they want to actually really go for the digital banking actually. Some of it, they really want to do wakaf bank. So whoever that in Islamic banking would know, if they manage to do wakaf bank, it's really, right, it's gonna tap that unserved, underserved market actually, because the motivation of wakaf is actually on that perspective, all right. So having saying that, right, Right Bank is over here. So yeah, one of the 5 actually digital bank. Actually, I would like to put my hope actually on the digital bank because we have a few digital bank that has been launched more than a year actually, right? But I know, I mean, they are so-called not quote-unquote problem and all those actually. But I can see that their offering is actually, they need to make it different than the bank actually. I'm not saying Right Bank probably different, right? So because the bank that already live for more than a year actually, right? So they, I'm hoping that they start quickly to tap on that market actually, the unserved, underserved, unbanked, underbanked and all those actually. So that the normal people can start to see, oh, that's the value of the digital bank. Was that the difference between the digital bank and the traditional bank, right? So that is actually my hope, actually, right? So with that, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jafami. For me, how do I like to conclude this session is one, answer one question from one of the students, right? What is the takeaway from the student's point of view? Because we spoke enough about Backbase, about digital banking, fintech. We'll continue to do so, rightly. However, in terms of mix of students, what I understand is there are law students, there are business students here, and also tech students. So if I have to say a simple thing, I mean, the banking technology, the banking has been, I would say banks are still there, those loan products, those deposit products, those products are still there, right, which were there earlier also. Banking has not changed. The way banking is done is getting changed. So for business students who are here, I think for them it's very important to understand the basics of banking first and not relying everything on ChatGPT. Because if you are able to understand that basics right, you will be able to succeed on your career when it comes to business or taking the banking jobs, let's say in future. For the tech people, I mean, because of the advancement of the technologies, also comes a lot of compliance issues, regulatory issues, cyber security, theft and all. So those are the areas which are very, very, I would say, forward-looking when it comes to technology people who are here, the technology students. So cyber security, you know, understanding the compliance part of it, these things are very new age thing which definitely you should focus on, because those would help you shape up your career also. And the last part in terms of concluding the overall traditional banks versus digital banks, if there are some debates around that, I think both complements each other, both pushes each other's boundaries. That would be my last comment. Digital banks pushes the boundaries of traditional banks to wake up from their sleep and do innovative stuff, which we are seeing in the market, be it Bank Islam, be it Bank Muamalat, and there are more coming in next couple of years' time also. Same goes with the traditional banks' knowledge of compliance and regulation also pushes the digital banks to adopt technologies and also be in the guidelines of the central bank regulations or the Securities Commission regulation. So they also need to adopt and understand those part of it and do the right offerings to their customer. So that's what I would conclude my sentence for today. Thank you.
I think just to address the question just now is that I think traditional bank, the big ones are definitely here to stay because they're too big. So, and if you look at the digital bank, we are meant to, what I call to attack the 0-10 market, which means that the market that the other big banks are not exploring. And these can be big markets as well, but we are exploring the markets that traditional bank are not exploring. And for example, a mortgage market, there's no reason to compete with the traditional bank. To address the students as well, in this day and age, things changes very fast, and the way to catch up with it is to, instead of, you cannot outcompute the computers, or you cannot outsmart an AI, but what you can do is that you can outhuman an AI, right? So focus on your humanness. And for example, in this day and age, there is a phenomena called wipe coding, which means that you key in prompt in English and be able to deliver or produce an app out of it entirely, right? So which means that it's really not about the code, the enterprise or the endeavor of coding per se, but it is the ability to communicate clearly to the AI. So it's very structured communication to AI. Start learning it in school and potentially be very adapt into like all the latest tools that AI is using to produce, especially for computer science students. There is a major upheaval for the last 2 years in that industry.
Okay, I want to address the question of the young gentleman over there who asked, what should I take away from this as a student? I think that you should ask yourself what you hope to have achieved to come here today. And your whole life, you've been told what to do. Your parents, your professors, and if you join the workforce, your boss,
all these nudges on your phone, right? From Google Maps to Grab to Food Panda and all that, tell you what to eat, what to buy. I don't know what dating apps you're on, but probably telling you who to date and marry as well. So I think you need to reflect on what you were excited about today. You heard from all the whole panel here. Everyone had something to offer. Which one excited you the most? And ask yourself why you were curious about that, because that taps into what Mr. Fong said about your humanness, you know, your curiosity, your intuition, your endeavor, right? It's not about us telling you what to think and take away. It's about you asking yourself where you want to be in the future. And I used to say to uni students that the future is incredibly bright, you know, fintech and all that. But today, in this age of AI, the future for you is actually quite perilous. I'm already in the industry. You are not, right? So with AI, there goes away the need for so many other entry-level talent, especially entry-level talent that just know how to do. So the job market will be quite perilous. I would say you need to really delve into where you want to be positioned in the future, having learned what you learned today, and position yourself where you can be part of something that you're excited about, you're passionate about. What do you want to build? What do you want to sell, right? We have director of sales here. What do you want to be part of? And I hope you come to a conclusion, not just yourselves, but maybe with your friends, right? Because I think it's important to connect to the people around you more than ever. And I don't know if I'm the youngest on this panel, but I was in uni not too long ago, and my first uni lecture in Australia, Accounting 101, and the room had 400 people. 400 people, a lot of them from Asia, a lot of them from China. And I sat in the back because I came late so I could see all the 400 people. And I realized straight away that I'm not smarter than these guys, I'm not richer than these guys' parents, so I need an edge. So I started applying for jobs that would take a uni student to work full-time. Not part-time, not internship, whatever. I only went to uni full-time for 1 year. In my second year, I work full-time, then I do night classes, because that was my edge. You need an edge. And I had a job before all my peers, and I could work in 2008 during the financial crisis, and when my peers were thinking about, oh, which internship should I take now that all the banks are gone, I have already experienced my first crisis. And today, that still pays benefits, because when COVID came, I'm like, it's just another crisis. So don't ask us lah, huh? Ask yourself lah, huh? Okay, thank you very much.
Hello, hello. All right, that concludes our Tech Talk forum for today. Thank you very much to all 4 speakers. A big round of applause to them, all of them. All right, before I hand over to Madam MC, we will take photos. Huh? Can we take photos for all the speakers here? Yeah, okay. As a memento. Okay.
floor to Madam MC.
Hello. Okay. Thank you so much for definitely a very insightful forum today. In fact, for me, who is almost zero knowledge of this fintech, it's really an eye-opening. And also, based on, I'm quite impressed that attendance from the students are quite impressive. Thank you for attending. For Hood, thank you for raising the questions, which I know student has been very reluctant to attend our previous tech talk, and we have this series of tech talk and also industry into education, where we bring industry to you guys, where you cannot reach out as a student. This is the time for you to reach out to them, networking. This would be your future employers, okay? There's a lot of industry exposure, knowledge sharing, career inspiration. Now it's the eye-opening. What you're studying, maybe computer engineering, maybe data, cybersecurity. Where would you fit into this industry in the future? Okay, this is only fintech. We have done cybersecurity. We have done tech talk on blockchain and AI. So we are doing this every month. So we do hope that students appreciate. It's not easy to get them to be with us. They have to sacrifice their busy time. And we, as an organizer, is also, reaching out to them, looking for the perfect people to share their expertise is also another challenge for us. So thank you so much. Okay, I would not want to go, into detail and membabil, as I say, because I'm a mother. Okay, thank you so much again to Associate Professor Kamal. Up next is another special session. We would like to invite again Professor Kamal for the promotional showcase, where we also explore opportunity for growth in fintech education and training. Cik Kamal, and also Cik Khairil Anwar from Mashrif later after Cik Kamal, yeah? Thank you.
Hello. All right, allow me to represent our School of Business Technology in promoting our programs, academic programs. Okay, just a very quick one that, all right, these are the programs that we offer, to potential students. Okay, we have Diploma in Digital Marketing, Diploma in Fintech, which just recently approved by MQA. We have BBA in MRS, Bachelor of Business Administration in Fintech as well, plus Master of Business Administration and PhD in Business Management. All right, okay, Diploma in Digital Marketing. Okay, just very fast on this. It's a 2-year, 3 months program. Okay, there are 3 intakes for this program. Okay, this is what the student will be learning. Okay, this diploma will provide also education pathway where the potential students can continue their studies into BBA, Unimai, and BBA, MIS, Unimai, and also Fintech. Also, they can choose under BAC Veritas, Bachelor of Business Administration, Digital Transformation. Okay. Next, Diploma in Fintech. Okay. This is a 2-year program. Okay. Same intake that is in February, May, and September. So these are the courses that will be available. Okay, I'll just very fast on this. Okay, the same education pathway where they can continue their bachelor in BBA MIS and BBA Fintech, and also under Veritas, BAC Veritas, Bachelor Business Administration, Digital Transformation.
Next, we have BBA and Fintech. This program allows you to delve into important areas like financial accounting, management accounting, audit and assurance, corporate governance, taxation, corporate finance, info system, blockchain, financial technology, and innovation, right? It's a 3-year program, okay? All right, you'll be learning, okay, human resource management, robo-advisor also is inside there, right? Business data analytics, okay, among others, yeah? All right, next is BBA MIS. Okay, this program already with us many years, okay? So this already established program, okay? Students not only learning about business, but they also learning about the programming, They also learning about programming. So it's 3-year program, okay? These some of the courses that they'll be learning. All right. Why choose this program? Interdisciplinary focus, combine business and computing, allowing students to develop a well-rounded skill set that is in demand in today's technology-driven business landscape. Industry mentoring and project, future-proofing, networking opportunities. Okay. So you also provide education pathway for the bachelor student who have graduated, then they can pursue their master MBA in Unimai or choose MBA under Veritas, digital transformation and MBA in digital marketing. All right. So these are the academic staff of School of Business Technology. Okay. Next, we also provide training and short courses, which park under Center of Fintech and Islamic Finance, which I am the head of the department or the center. Okay. We are having this certified professional Islamic Fintech. Okay. Anyone who's interested to have a short course, to attend this short course and sharpen their knowledge on Islamic Fintech, we are open. You can contact us. And also we have professional certificate in digital Fintech. Okay. This 6 days program. This one 3 days, 3 days program. This one digital Fintech is 3 days program, 6 days program. Yeah. Okay. I think that's some of our training programs and also academic programs that we like to show to you. So thank you very much.
Chekarial Noah from Ashraf, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, as I said, Professor Dr. Kamal. For me, from Masrif perspective, we actually curate our program from time to time. It's not that we have, of course, we do have something off the meal. For example, we have Islamic finance for non-bankers. We have also digital skills in Islamic finance that we offer. We also have courses on corporate governance, and we have programs in credit and risk management. It need not necessarily be on Islamic finance, but our core competency is actually on Islamic finance. What we will do, we will work together with BAC to come up with our program from time to time. Previously, we had one program on Islamic Fintech, and our focus will always be on the practical side, the practical aspect of Islamic finance and practical aspect of Islamic Fintech. And we will typically bring in the experience that we have with our clients. For example, among the clients that we have, like today, all of them, Right Bank, Stashaway, Backbase, and Sunline. In fact, we did work for Sunline as well. We also have programs with the P2P players, the ECF players. So typically what we do in our program is to showcase Islamic finance and the actual implementation of fintech within Islamic finance. So be on the lookout for programs that will be offered by Masref together with BAC, which we will offer from time to time. Yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to convey today. Thank you very much.
Quarter to 1 o'clock. So now we have towards the end of our program. Before that, let me invite a professor, technologist Dr. Sawani Muhammad Daud, Vice Chancellor of UNIMAI, to deliver a special address.
Okay, thank you, and very good afternoon. Okay, to our distinguished guests, our esteemed partners from Infoline IT Solutions, faculty members, and of course, our bright students from UNIMAI. I'd like to extend a special thank you to the brilliant minds who shared their expertise with us earlier today. Your insights from the sharing session and industry showcase have truly set the stage for the collaborative spirit we are celebrating. A sincere thank you to Mr. Muhammad Fahmi Mustafa from Sunline, Mr. Ashif Sharma from Backbase, Mr. Y. Ken Wong from Stashaway, and Mr. Fung Chen Moon from Right Bank. Your contributions have given us a clear and exciting vision of the future of fintech. And of course, a special thanks to our very own Associate Professor Muhammad Kamal for masterfully moderating the discussion. Here at UNIMAI, our core mission is to shape the architects of that very future. We are dedicated to providing an education that is not just theoretical, but practical, forward-thinking, and deeply connected to the needs of the industry. Today marks a landmark occasion in our journey. This memorandum of understanding between UNIMAI and Infoline IT Solutions is more than just a document. It is a commitment to building a powerful bridge between academia and the professional world of technology. This collaboration is designed to provide our students with unparalleled hands-on experience. Together, we will be establishing a dedicated cybersecurity lab and a state-of-the-art security operations center right here in our campus. This will be a real-world training ground where students will be trained by Infoline's industry experts. Yeah? So furthermore, this partnership will grant our students access to Infoline's advanced AI platform for research, allowing them to work on turning innovative ideas into commercially viable solutions. Critically, it will also create direct pathway to careers through valuable internship and job placement opportunities with Infoline. By joining forces, UNIMAI and Infoline are proactively developing the talent that our nation's growing digital economy urgently needs. We are equipping our students with the skills, the knowledge, and the experience to become future leaders in cybersecurity and IT. We are incredibly excited about the journey ahead and the immense potential this partnership holds. My sincerest thanks to the team at Infoline for their vision and collaboration. So for everyone's info, actually we have already one program being approved by MQA, and hopefully we can offer this coming semester. That is Bachelor of IT in Cybersecurity. And also future programs that we are waiting for the approval from the MQA is our Bachelor in Applied AI and also PhD in Applied AI. So we hope our students keep on continue your study in Unimai, and also with this collaboration with Infoline, you will experience the hands-ons on the latest cybersecurity hardware and software, inshallah. And also with the, when we talk about fintech, that is always cybersecurity is important as well. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Maybe you can stay on the stage. Yeah, because for the MOU exchange ceremony later. With that, I also would like to invite Mr. Arthur Tu, representing Infoline IT Solutions in Emirate, to deliver your special address. Thank you.
Testing. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So actually, I think, Prof, you have already shared most of what I would like to share earlier on. So I will try to keep this short and sweet. Right. So good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, partners, faculty members, and students. So my name is Arthur. I'm from Infoline Tech Group Berhad. Right. It's a privilege to stand here in this event today, an occasion that celebrates not just technology, but the future collaboration between industry and academia. So on behalf of Infoline, I'd like to extend our sincere gratitude to Unimai, the event organizers, and everyone here who shares the common vision of building Malaysia's digital economy. Right? Today's event marks a significant milestone for us as we prepare to formalize a strategic collaboration with Unimai through the signing of this MOU. Right? At Infoline, we believe the future of technology does not lie solely in innovation, but in partnership. So I believe, based on this morning's panel speakers and everything that you have heard from the experts in the fintech industry, especially, right? We are the ones behind that build the infrastructure for services like the fintech industry to perform on, right? So we believe and we understand that universities are not just educational institutes. They are hubs of research, creativity, and future talent. So by partnering with Unimai, we aim to bridge the gap between academic excellence and industry requirements. This MOU is not just a formal agreement, but I think it represents a shared commitment between Infoline and Unimai to foster strengthen educational values in Malaysia. There is also a commitment to develop collaborative research, especially in the cybersecurity and AI space, right? And also to provide real-world industry access and opportunities to Unimai students, right? Together, like Prof mentioned, we will develop a dedicated cybersecurity lab as well as a security operations center within Unimai, right? This will not only enhance hands-on training, but also learning and also being able to expose students to real-time cybersecurity threats and mitigation strategies, right? We will explore ways to transform research outputs into commercial viable solutions, contributing to Malaysia's growing tech ecosystem, right? So, and lastly, we are committed to providing internship placement opportunities to Unimai students to ensure they are transitioning from academia to industry, right? At Infoline, we are proud to play a part in nurturing Malaysia's next generation of cybersecurity professionals and IT innovators, right? By sharing our expertise, infrastructure, and industry experience, we hope to contribute to both the personal and professional growth of students and help shape Malaysia into a regional hub of cybersecurity talents. In closing, I would like to thank everyone involved in making this partnership possible. And we are excited about what lies ahead and confident that this collaboration will lead to impactful outcomes for Unimai, for Infoline, and for the country. All right, let's move forward together. Thank you.
We now arrive at a major milestone in today's event, the official Memorandum of Understanding, MOU exchange, between BAC Education Group and Infoline IT Solutions Sdn Bhd. This MOU marks a promising new collaboration in the fintech space. Let's witness this significant moment together. Thank you, Professor Salwani and Mr. Atatu. Okay, with that, I think this should conclude our event today. What do you think? Is it very meaningful to you guys? 2 thumbs up? Okay. But I hope next event, you guys, I would love to buy you lunch because you stay up until the end of the program, and those left earlier, too bad. Okay, what's an inspiring and knowledgeable packed session we've had, correct? Okay, before we end, I think our distinguished speakers already left, but just to do on record, thank you so much for distinguished speakers for sharing their expertise. Our insightful moderator, Prof. Kamal, for guiding the discussion. The event organizer, HRD Academy, BAC Education Group, and MASREF for making this event possible. And of course, you, the participants, students, and also our respectful academic members for being such an engaging part of the event. We hope you leave today with valuable takeaways and new ideas for navigating the future of fintech. So this concludes our event, so we hope to see you in our next Tech Talk series. Thank you again and have a great day. Tak ramai ni. Would you guys be able to move to the center? Or maybe you guys move here because ramai kat sini kot. Tengah lah, tengah.